Hello, this is Scholar Sharp doing some math. Today in Algebra 1 we'll be looking at solving linear systems by substitution. So if we got two equations and we got instead of graphing, we're going to do this mathematically. Step 1, solve one of the equations for a variable. Does not matter which one, so you can solve for x, you can solve for y, and then substitute into the other equation and solve for the variable, and then back substitute. So let's do the steps. So step 1, in either of these equations, equation 1 or equation 2, solve for a variable. That means make it say x equals something or y equals something. So step 1, it's already done. X is solved for equation 1. So let's go step 2. So step 2, we're going to substitute. Okay. So we're going to substitute x into the other equation. So what does that mean? So okay, so we have 3. I'm going to use a color here. X plus y equals 16. Okay, and then our other equation, just make it all blue, or make it all red here. X equals negative 2y plus 2. Okay, so what's going on here is we solve, so that first equation there, so let's call this equation 1, equation 2. In that first one, it was already solved for x. So this x is equal to negative 2y plus 2, and we're going to substitute it into this x right here. Okay, so this is going to be 3 times the red. So 3 times, you want to put parentheses because you're plugging in multiple stuff, minus 2y plus 2. Let me put the red in there again. Negative 2y plus 2. Okay. And then we have to put in the rest of the equation. Plus y equals 16. Okay. So we substitute it in. Now let's solve for y. So I'm going to distribute this, 3. So 3 times negative 2y is negative 6y, plus 3 times 2, which is 6. And then we have the y there equals 16. Okay, combine our like terms. So negative 6y plus y is negative 5y, plus 6 equals 16. I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides and get negative 5y equals 10. Finally, get rid of that by dividing by negative 5 and get y equals negative 2. Yeah, I found out what y is. So now, step 3. Back substitute. Okay. So back in equation 1, we have x equals negative 2y plus 2. Okay, I'm going to plug this y into there. So x equals negative 2 times negative 2 plus 2. So x equals negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4 plus 2. So 6. So my answer is 6 comma negative 2. It's always an ordered pair with the system of linear equations. So let's go ahead and separate this from example 2. Alright, example 2. Solve the linear system. Okay, so step 1. So step 1. I'm going to change one of these equations into either x equals something or y equals something. And I'm going to use, because I think it'll be easier, the second equation. 2x plus y equals negative 3. So to change that into y equals something, I'm just going to subtract 2x over. So I will get y equals negative 2x minus 3. Okay. Now I'm going to substitute this y okay, negative 2x minus 3, and plug it into the first equation, because you always want to use it in the other equation, otherwise it won't work. So if you use equation 2, then put it in equation 1. If you use equation 1, put it in equation 2. Okay, so let's do that. So 4x minus 2 times y, which is negative 2x minus 3. And then we have that equals 14 there. Okay, so 4x minus, well, negative 2 times negative 2x is positive 4x. Negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6 equals 14. So I'll have 8x plus 6 equals 14. Subtract 6 from both sides to get 8x equals 8. So what times 8 is 8? And that would be 1. Okay. Step 3. So here's step 2. And then step 3, plug it back in. So I have 2 times 1 plus y equals negative 3. So I have y equals, sorry, I'm going to subtract this 2 from both sides, because 2 times 1 is 2. So y equals negative 5. So my answer is 1 comma negative 5. Alright, let's do 2 more examples. So this first one, step 1 is done. The second equation already has y equals something. So I'm going to plug this in to the other y there in the first equation. So 5x minus 4 times y is 6x plus 5. And then equals negative 1. Okay, distribute. 5x minus 24x minus 20 equals negative 1. So 5x minus 24x is negative 19x minus 20 equals negative 1. I'm going to add 20 over, and you get negative 19x equals 19. So x equals negative 1. Okay, plug that back in. Y equals 6 times negative 1 plus 5. So negative 6 plus 5 is negative 1. So my answer is negative 1, negative 1. Okay. Checkpoint 2. So I'm going to mess around with the first equation. X plus y equals 5. Now I can solve for y for this one or solve for x with this one. It doesn't matter which way you do it, but I'm just going to solve for x this time. X equals negative y plus 5. Okay, I'm going to plug this into this x here. So 7 times x, which is negative y plus 5, minus 9y equals 3. Distribute. Negative 7y plus 35 minus 9y equals 3. Alright, here we go. Combine our like terms. Negative 7y minus 9y is negative 16y plus 35 equals 3. I'm going to subtract 35 over. Negative 16y equals negative 32. So y equals positive 2. We need to divide both sides by 16. So my answer... Oh. So we found out what y is. Now we're going to plug this back in to our equation. I don't have any space. So here I'll rewrite it. Oh, that's right. We don't have anything here. So let's just do this in a different color so you can see it more clearly. So y equals negative 2, or y equals positive 2, sorry. So x equals opposite of y, so opposite of 2 is negative 2 plus 5. So x equals 3. So my answer is 3, 2. Hopefully this helped you out. Have a good day.